Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. In this video, we're going to look at the trending story that the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nyesom Wike, has denied being blocked from Aso Rock Presidential Villa over drunkenness. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Welcome. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. The Federal Capital Territory Minister has denied a report purporting that he was barred from the Aso Rock Presidential Villa. Independent journalist Jackson Ude, in his verified X handle, alleged that the minister was barred from the villa when the Indian Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, visited President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Jackson claimed that Wike was drunk when he received the Indian Prime Minister at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. According to him, an anonymous security officer spoke to him from the presidential villa. However, clearing the air, Wike, in a statement by his media aide, Lere Olayinka, countered the claim, insisting that the FCT minister received the Indian Prime Minister as directed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said the minister led the Prime Minister to the presidential villa, where his duty ended. And Lere Olayinka said, up till now, Jackson Ude is still spinning lies to defend his initial lies. But for us, who knows his antecedent, we will not dignify him henceforth. After all, this same Jackson Ude said in many tweets that the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, had fled Nigeria through Niger Republic. He even accused the Minister of State of Defense of helping Yahaya Bello to escape to Niger Republic. However, the same Yahaya Bello that Jackson Ude said had fled Nigeria showed up at their EFCC headquarters in Abuja on September 18, 2024. He said Jackson Ude has now jumped to peddling other lies against high-profile Nigerians, the latest being the FCT minister. Now, the media aide of the minister wanted to justify his clearance of his boss by referencing other lies, according to him, by Jackson Ude. And one of the lies he pointed out was that Jackson Ude was the one that said that Yahaya Bello had fled the country, and that he fled the country through the help of the Minister of State, and that the same Yahaya Bello who fled Nigeria through Niger Republic appeared in September 18 at the EFCC headquarters. That to me is not, it doesn't mean that, I'm not Sunday, I say that, it doesn't mean that Jackson Ude lied. It doesn't mean, because the person you say fled, somebody that fled can decide to come back. Because if you look at it, after the Yahaya Bello himself appeared at the EFCC, and people say, why didn't EFCC arrest him? Why did they allow him to go? Now, when they invited him back, had he gone back again? You understand where I'm coming from? I'm not saying that Jackson Ude is right, or that his claim that Yahya Bello fled the country. I'm not saying that he is right, that he was right, that Yahya Bello fled the country. But even if he could also be right, you never can tell, because journalists have different sources of information. So somebody that fled could also return back, because you say somebody fled, doesn't mean that the person cannot come back. I'm not saying that the Yahya Bello fled. No, that's not what I'm saying. But to use that as an example to show that Jackson Ude is a liar who spread lies is not convincing for critical minds like myself, who think outside the box. Okay? So if he said that he had information that Kogi governor, former governor, fled through Niger Republic, and that the Minister of State allegedly helped him, Minister of State for the allegedly helped him. Supposing he was saying the truth, you understand what I'm saying? Supposing Jackson there was, his sources were right. Somebody that fled can decide to come back and show up at the EFCC office. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because since after he showed up at that EFCC office, they had invited him to come back. He has refused to come back there. He has failed to present himself again to the EFCC. In other words, he's showing himself in the first place, in the first instance, on September 18 or thereabout. It was not altruistic. It wasn't done for real. It was apparently for show. Because if not so, why is the man still not, why has he not responded to the EFCC? What is he waiting for to report to them now that they have invited him again to come back? Because he on September 18, he went unannounced, unexpectedly. Okay? Perhaps that was why the EFCC was confused on what to do about him or whatever. I don't understand. Because many people have said, the man came, why didn't you arrest him? But for whatever reason, they are now looking for him too. They want him to present himself for interrogation, but he is nowhere to be found. So that to me is not enough reason to say that Jackson Ude is somebody who spread lies. Perhaps it was a lie, but you cannot use that explanation that somebody who fled and then now appeared in the EFCC office is evidence that he lied. I cannot be, a critical mind like mine cannot be convinced just like that. But there's also one thing, as he narrated where the man got it wrong, where Ude didn't get it right, where Ude lied, according to the example he gave. He conveniently left out one of the prominent, well-known story that was brokered by Jackson Ude, in which even the military was looking for him. Recall that back in October, the Nigerian army had categorically dismissed speculation, claiming that the Chief of Army Staff, General Taoreed Labaja, has died. The army labeled that story as fake news. The report was also dismissed by the presidency in a statement by Bayo Onanuga, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy. The source of that story, the source of that report is this same Jackson Ude. This same Jackson Ude, who was a former media aide to former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. But days after the military denied the death of the Chief of Army Staff, it was now the same military and the same presidency that weeks later confirmed that the Chief of Army Staff was dead. When did he actually die? Did he die at that time that Jackson Ude said that he died? And then because Jackson Ude announced it without authorization, it was not publicly announced. It has to be denied until when the government, because government was embarrassed by that announcement by Jackson Ude, or that Jackson Ude got it wrong. He just got lucky. The man he said died actually didn't die, but weeks later the man now died. You can look at it anyhow you like, but the culprit, the person, the source of that information that Labaja died, and the military denied it, the presidency denied it, was Jackson Ude. Okay? So it is now left for you to interpret whether he's a credible source or not. Now, based on this issue of the minister being bad, the minister has defended himself effectively. The minister has said the media aide has defended him effectively. He also presented evidence of photographs that the minister took with the Indian Prime Minister on Saturday, and then the pictures they took at the Presidential Villa on Sunday, to show that indeed the minister was not bad. After all, the Chinese say that a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. However, Jackson Ude is somebody that has also broken some stories that were denied before, and later it was found out to be true. Whether it was by coincidence that the story that was denied eventually became the truth, it's now left for you to decide. I don't know what you think about Jackson Ude and his allegation that the minister was barred from the presidential villa over alleged drunkenness. Whatever is your position, what do you think? Which side, who do you believe in this story that was narrated? Which side do you think are speaking truth to the Nigerian public? Let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.